Alright, today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you this car. This is an F104 W Tamiya F1 car. And what W means, I think, is wide. So this is actually a reproduction of the original 312 T3, which is a very old F1 car. And I think this is a really great kit. I've had it a couple of years. I built it a couple of years ago. I haven't showed it on the channel, but it's still available. If you want to get into F1 racing or pan car style racing, I think this is an excellent kit for a couple of reasons. One is that classic body. So we're going to take a look today, and then we'll take it outside and we'll drive it and hopefully not break it. So here is my 312 T3 Tamiya F104 W car. So we'll take a little bit closer look at this. Now this is the expertly painted hard shell, deckled up. It's got Ferrari paint. This is the third hard body I did, and it wasn't easy. It was actually a harder one to paint, but I think I did a pretty good job in the end. I really love this shell. I don't ever plan to drive it with this shell on it. So one of the cool things about this kit is it comes with a Lexan shell that you can paint up. It's a Ferrari shell, and you can paint it up and decal it up to look exactly like this. But I did not. Here is my Lexan shell. I did it in blue with white triangles. Just a random color scheme. Now obviously it does not look as good as the one I did in red, but it sat around for a while, and then I thought, I got some paint lying around. I want to try this color scheme out. And it came out pretty good. And I put a different driver figurehead in there from another kit. And so this is what I'll use for running. I think that's the wise move because I don't want to damage this shell. So let's pull the shell off. Pull out these pins. So this is an F1 kit. Now I built this for the track, but there is no more track. So the track is gone. So it's never seen the track. We'll just pull the shell off. Now I did model my Astute 2022 after this paint scheme. If you've watched that video, it's beautiful. There's quite a bit of detail. Clear. There's a clear windscreen. We got our mirrors on the side, and they got reflective bits in them. You have to paint. So I painted with black paint. It's not quite perfect, but the vents, front and back, there's a little bit of black paint back here. So I painted that after the red. This top cowl, I painted it all in white, and then I added the stickers to it. Same with this centerpiece. Beautiful. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful car. There's another vent painted there. So if you're into F1, I think this is a great one to have in your collection. Not just because it's a hard shell, which is kind of rare. Also, this is one of the original F1 bodies that Tamiya did when it did F1 cars. So it's basically a reproduction. You see inside the shell, probably won't show up on camera, but that says 1979. So this shell's mold, this is from 1979. So totally cool. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful car to build, and I highly recommend it. So let's see what's left of the car once we take the beautiful shell off. I'll just set that over here. So is a typical F1 design, but I believe it's wider. So I think these parts, and I think the rear axle is actually wider. I think the rear tires are also wider. I'm not sure because I don't have another F104. The wing on the back is nice and reflective, so it comes like that. And these Lexan pieces are bolted and taped on, if you actually look at the back. That's how Tamiya says to do it. And the front wing is solid plastic, also in a nice reflective chrome. I did have a bit of trouble trying to get this sticker on this wing and get it lined up. So it's not quite right, I don't think. But when you're building it, you might come across that. So it's screwed on to the bumper tray. We got 2 screws there. And here's the chassis. It's FRP, and you can see a few scrapes because I have driven this, not with the F1 body on it. When I built it, I originally built it brushless. Now we have a brush system. We have an RZ Superstock motor, which I think works quite well with this, and we have a quick run 1060 ESC. But originally when I built this, I built it with a 10-turn or an 8-turn, I can't remember which, brushless system, and this car was uncontrollable. Now I have driven it with these foam tires, and they have a few grooves in them because I drove them just outside. I didn't take it to the track. These are foam, and the foam is double-sided taped onto these beautiful wheels. Now, I don't want to run those today, so we're going to run this. Oh, I should mention I put a nice high-end servo in there from Savox, a bit of overkill. This car doesn't have a lot of suspension. It only has a little bit, about 2 millimeters in the front, and in the back it flexes the FRP chassis, and you have a couple millimeters there. So not really made for rough terrain, obviously, but a very interesting design. Now today, because I want to take this outside, I want to show some running footage of this car. We're not going to run these tires. I've actually bought Huddy F1 tires for the F104. They're version 2, and they should stand up to the concrete a little bit better. Let me open one of the rear ones to show you a little bit different, how the wheels are a little bit different size. Open that up. So Huddy things are a little bit expensive. I originally ordered Aeromax, but they only had the front tires from Aeromax available, and so I went with Huddy because I wanted them to match. Now I realize this is just a sticker. I thought that was printed on the rubber, so I could have just pulled off that sticker and saved some money. There we go. There's the Huddy tire. They're really, really sticky. They are vented. Now, compared to the tires that are on the car, these will set about there. So we can see they're quite a bit narrower. So I think these are actually the standard F104 tires, and these are for this wide kit. You see there's quite a bit of difference in the width of those tires. The diameter is pretty much the same. So these will work. Look a little bit narrower. The front ones, we'll open those up. The front ones are almost exactly the same. So here we have the front tire. The front ones are actually a little bit wider. Just slightly wider. So we'll throw these tires on because we're going to take it out just to like parking garage area, and we're going to give it a run. But we are not going to be running this beautiful body on this car. We're going to run the blue one. So I'm going to do that now. And there we are. That didn't take long. I forgot how the rear wheel works with this gearbox. So it's on the axle, but there is a diff built in, and in this wheel there's a special bearing. So I had to take apart that wheel. But there we are. We can see it does look quite a bit narrower. I think it looks much better with these super wide tires on the back. But there we go. We got the blue shell on. Pretty easy. So for all intents and purposes, it's the same car. It just has modern wheels on it. And they're quite a bit narrower. It doesn't quite match the body shell, but it's not production. So, did it in blue. Alright, so I'm going to be running this on 2S. I have my 2S battery pack right here. It is a 4000 milliamp Ace, Gens Ace. These are for helicopters, nice and thin. So if you're running normal 2S packs, the big hard ones, they're really, really thick. But this is all the battery that's inside them. They have a lot of case on them. Makes them nice and strong. So the battery fits inside this chassis, so we need to have something that is LiPo and will fit. It's not really made. It's made for NiMi or NiCad batteries. But we'll take this out and we'll give it a couple runs and hopefully not damage it too much. Totally fun car. I think if you're at the track, this would be amazing. There's so little suspension in it, it's hard to find a smooth enough area to drive it in. Alright, so that's it for this part. I'll see you outside. Alright, we're out here on location. Woo! In the hot sun. I don't know how hot it is. Maybe 45 degrees. Feels like it. Alright, so it should be pretty warm. That just burned my hand, so yeah, it's warm. So these tires, which are quite sticky, should stick quite well. So we're just going to give it a rip. We're not going to be too hard on it. Needs a bit of trim adjustment there. Give us up the trim. Okay. So these cars are quite easy to spin out because they're two-wheel drive. Oop, went through the dirt. Ooh. That's why I didn't take the nice body. So, kind of need a gyro for this, I think. I'm going like a quarter throttle. Very smooth. But yeah, I can't do top speed runs here. Too short. Pretty easy to spin out. A little bit like driving a drag car. Man, I don't know how fast this thing would go, but I'm only hitting about quarter throttle. It's zoomed. I think it's quite a fast vehicle, F1 and all. It's only 35, but it feels pretty darn hot. Yeah, so we're not going to get much running footage of this car. It's pretty hot. The motor, ow! The motor is pretty hot. I just burnt my finger by touching the motor. So that area over there with the pavement, that entrance exit area is really, really warm. The tires will burn your fingers, even the front ones. Burning hot. The whole car is burning hot. So really I need a bigger space. Really need to go to a track. I lost these little wing pieces. I'm gonna have to super glue them on or something. They're Lexan pieces that go on the side. I'll put those back on and put the other body on, put the other wheels on. But if you take this to a track, it'd definitely be a lot of fun. I think you want to put a gyro in it so you don't lose your steering, because it will spin out quite quickly because it's only rear wheel drive. But all in all, it's quite a fun, quick car. I'm surprised how fast it is with this RZ Superstock motor. So that's all for today. I hope you like that. I hope you like this car, and if you want to challenge the build, that's one thing I haven't mentioned. This car is actually a lot more intricate, and it took a lot more work to build than... Damn cicadas. This car actually took a lot more work to build. It was a lot more intricate than I thought when I bought the kit. So definitely, if you haven't built an F1 kit, F104 is a great kit to build. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I need some water. So catch you next time.